All right, welcome to your 10.3 day 1 video. Today we're talking about the surface area of pyramids. Your essential question says, how do you find the surface area of a pyramid? Well, I guess it says of pyramids, but you know. We're going to go ahead and start by talking about what a pyramid is. As it says on the slide, it's a 3D shape with triangle faces. Essentially, a pyramid has some sort of base. In this case, it's a triangle. Your base could be a different shape. It doesn't have to be a triangle. And then it has these sides that all meet at a point at the top. I'm guessing that you have seen a pyramid before, maybe in your studies about Egypt. But we're going to talk about the parts of it. The first thing is the height. The height is a distance from this point on the top to like the center of that base. You also have this thing called a slant height. It's like the height of one of your sides. We use L to represent slant height. Now remember, that's like a cursive L. That's not an E. It is an L. All right, the first thing we're going to talk about is the lateral area of a pyramid. Now remember, this is talking about the area of all sides of we're just going to cross it out because it's wrong, of a pyramid. It doesn't include the bases. So essentially you want to figure out, okay, what would the area of everything be without the base? Your formula for this is going to be a lateral area, so we do LA equals P times L divided by 2. Now remember, P equals perimeter of your base. And L equals your slant height. I have two figures there. It doesn't really help us to like use them because it's not there. But if we look at the second one, my base here is this hexagon. So I would find the perimeter, that red distance. I'd multiply it by the slant height. Remember, that's this length here. And then I would divide that by 2. So we're going to do it for our first example. We have LA equals P times L divided by 2. Now I already know that my slant height is going to be 12, but we do have to find the perimeter. Now for this one, we're going to assume it's a square on the bottom. It should be. I think all of our pyramids have regular bases, meaning that all of the sides are the same length. If they weren't the same length, they would label the rest of them. So for perimeter, we're going to do 4 times 7.5. And I'm going to put that in my calculator quick. And when I do that, I get 30. So then I'm going to plug it into my formula. So we know my perimeter of my base is 30. We're going to multiply it by the slant height, which is 12. Again, this slanty height right there. And then we'll divide it by 2. So if I do 30 times 12, I get 360. And we need to divide that answer by 2. And when I do that, I get 180. Again, at this point, we're still talking about area. So our units are going to be squared. So we're going to say our lateral area would be 180 feet squared. All right, and that is how you find the lateral area of a pyramid. Now my next one, it says the surface area of a pyramid. It's the area of all the sides and the bases of a pyramid. So remember last time we just left this part out? Now we need to add that in. Your formula for surface area, again we use SA to represent surface area, equals our lateral area, which we found on the last slide, plus the area of our base, and we use a big B to represent that. Again, the big B equals the area of the base. Now we don't have like one set formula to find this, because if you notice, my base for my first triangle is a square, but for my second triangle, it's a hexagon. So the formula you use will depend on what shape you have on the bottom. Let's look at our example. So we know that the surface area equals the lateral area plus B. Again, if you're looking for these base formulas, check out your notes from 10.1. They should all be in there. That's literally what we did for those 3 days. We already have our lateral area. We got it in the last slide. So I know LA equals 180. And we need to find the area of the base. Let's do that down here. Again, in this case, my base is a square. So my formula is going to be base times height. Notice one side is 7.5, the other will also be 7.5. So we're going to do 7.5 times 7.5 to find the area of the base. And when I do that, I get 56.25. All right, we're going to plug our information into our formula. So my lateral area is 180. We're going to add to that 56.25 because that's the area of our base. When we do that, we have 56.25 plus 180. We get 236.25. Again, we're talking about area, this time just surface area. So my units are still going to be squared. So it's 236.25 feet squared. And that will be your final answer. We're going to do one more problem where we walk through this from start to finish, find your lateral area, then find your surface area. All right, my last one, we again are going to find our lateral area and our surface area. Remember, your formula for lateral area is LA equals perimeter of the base times the length divided by 2. We're going to start out by finding P. So I noticed my shape has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And all of my sides are 8 feet long. So we're going to do 5 times 8. I was going to divide it by 2, but you don't do that. When we do 5 times 8, we get 40. And that's going to be our value for P. Now they already give us our slant height. It's this one here, which is 10.6 feet. So if we plug that into our formula, we have lateral area equals my perimeter, which is 40, times my slant height, which is 10.6, and then all divided by 2. Again, in my calculator, I'm going to do 40 times 10.6. We get 424, all divided by 2. And when we do that, we get 212. And my units are feet, so it's going to be 212 feet squared. That is my answer for lateral area. All right, I'm going to kind of put a box around this work, and then we're going to find our surface area. So my formula for surface area is SA equals my lateral area plus the area of my base. So we're going to go ahead and focus on the area of the base first. Notice my base is a regular pentagon, so we have to use that formula A times P divided by 2. Remember, A is your apothem. It's going to be 5.5. So we're going to have 5.5 times our perimeter. Now notice we already found P up here for our previous problem, so we can just use that number again. So times 40, and then divided by 2. Again, I'm going to put 5.5 times 40 into my calculator. When I do that, I get 220 divided by 2, which gives me 110. And that's going to be the area of my base. So again, if I try to find my surface area, we know our lateral area is 212. Again, that was just what we found in the last problem. And then we're going to add to that the area of the base, which we said was 110. So 212 plus 110 gives me, hold on, let's make sure that actually looks like a 0 for you, 322. And then my units for that would be feet squared still. So again, we just took what we found for the first number, added the area of our base to it. All right, thank you for watching. As always, you can go ahead and answer your questions about the video and then start your homework.